We've got a cook-off challenge going on in the kitchen. Guys, you two may be going down this year.
I don't know so much about that, Chelsea. So it's tough for Chelsea because she is a rookie. Oh, yeah. I've won in the past, and you are not just the one-time, but the two-time defending champ. So this is our Dale Seasoning Cook-Off Challenge. We take a lot of pride in it, and how, regardless of whether I win or not, I'm always excited when you're here because you throw down, man.
Well, you know, I know how to please. I bring enough for like a lot of people to eat. So that's the key right there.
I texted him just before 7 this morning. I said, hope you're ready to go because the Fox 10 studio is abuzz with you cooking today. He said, I'm bringing a lot of food, so that's a good thing.
That's right. And you know, in the past we've done pan-seared red snapper. We did venison wraps last year. This year we're doing a true Southern favorite, pork loin. I'm doing a whole pork loin. Actually, I've cut this one in half to make it easier to work with.
Sure.
We've got half already in the oven, which you know, we'll have that out in a little while. And of course, you can't go wrong with Conecuh bacon.
Oh man, the best Conecuh from right here in Alabama. You know, famous for their sausage. They make bacon as well, and it's absolutely delicious. And speaking of delicious, it all comes together with those Dales, right?
It does, it does. I love the lower reduced sodium Dales, and even with that, it is a bit salty, but it's a great marinade. So what we're going to do, Joe, is we're going to make this injection right now. We're going to do 1 cup.
So that's where I think you're probably going to differ from Chelsea and I's recipe this year is you're not using it solely just as a marinade. You're using the marinade that you're going to create and infusing the flavor into this big pork loin.
And so we're going to do 1 cup of Dales, and we're going to do 1.5 cups of apple juice. Man. And this gives it a nice little sweet flavor.
The dudes from Stomp are watching, man. They're curious. They want some.
And we've got a little liquid smoke. That's very strong. So literally
just a hint of that?
A capful.
All right.
And all that. If you'll stir that up for me, Joe, we'll get this thing injected. You want to be pretty thorough when you inject this. It's going to sit in the oven. It's going to have to cook about 1.5 hours at between 375 and 400 to give it a good. I like to liken this to pretend you have a large baked potato. How long does it take to get that done?
That takes a while. In the oven,
so about similarly for that. So we're going to go ahead and start injecting this. Do you want to do the honors?
No, man. This is a competition. I'm going to let you do your thing. I need to do my own thing here.
Yeah, I haven't had to go up against you before.
Yeah.
So we're just going to work our way down here. Work our way down. And just be thorough about it.
And that flavor is just, oh
yeah, you know that was going to happen.
The flavor is squirting everywhere.
That's all right.
You can't wait to try the Dale's marinated pork loin. All right, Hal, I'm going to let you keep working on that. I'm going to step back so we don't get hit with that. Maybe the folks from Stomp can smack on that pork loin a little bit.
You know what? Another unique thing about this, you see the fresh thyme up there and the garlic. We're going to cut some slits in here and jam this with garlic before it gets wrapped in bacon and goes in the oven.
You're kidding me.
So yeah, we've got some exciting stuff going on here. And of course, a little side, we're going to saute some carrots and fresh green beans for you.
Well, you're providing the food. I think our friend Jim Cox may be providing the beverages today, Chelsea. How about that? Before we get started, Hal, if you're like me, when you're grilling, it's a good time to have a cold one out there as well, too.
Did you bring that for me?
Just wanted to help you out there.
Sometimes you just need it, though, you know?
That's right.
And I'll take this one to go.
Oh, there. Oh, Joe. Okay, so we cut your slices in there and stuffed it with garlic.
That's right. We've got garlic and we've got some fresh thyme. You can see I've done quite a few of those. You just cut down, not all the way through.
It's like a flower bed.
Yeah, you just put that in there. And what's going to be great about this is the next step. You just tear some of that up. The next step is all this grate will be covered with some Conecuh bacon.
Oh.
So we're going to start layering this thing, across. I like Conecuh bacon because it's, see, they don't skimp. It's nice and long slices.
Thick slice of
long
bacon.
slices. So we're going to put that all across there.
Now, I know you're a great chef, but did you just like come up with this? Are you the kind of chef who just kind of pieces things together and it's magical?
I've never made this before, so you'll be the first one.
Oh my gosh.
But when you cook enough, you get to know what works well together.
Right.
And so I have every bit of confidence in the world that this is going to work well together. And so we're just coming back across here with the bacon.
Yeah.
And we're going to layer it across there to hold those down. There'll be no slippage. Go all the way out to the edge here and tuck them. and we're getting close to the point where we're going to put it in the oven. But there's one last step. I found a very unique to Mobile spice company, and what I'm going to put on top of here today is called Old Dolphin Way. It's from Playhouse Spices right here in Mobile. They make quite a few different kinds of spices. This one that I'm going to put across the top, you can see it right here, and I'm going to brush it across the top. It's got chili, it's got coffee in it, it's got smoky citrus and green herbs. Yeah, take a look at that. And I don't know if the camera can see that, but it's just a really great blend. And I've used this on several things, including pork in the past, so I know it's going to be good on that. So we're going to just put a nice coating of that across the top, and I'm going to rub it in.
Yeah. Now it just like really amazes me how, you know, those ingredients like coffee and chili peppers and things like that goes together to make something so beautiful.
It does. And you know, as this cooks down, this gets all into the bacon juice gets into there, the thyme and the garlic will all do its thing inside there, and of course that Dale's in the middle of that pork loin injected with a little bit of apple juice and smoky flavor. That's just you cannot go wrong. It's gonna finish it off. So we're done with this. We're gonna set it up here. I've got it on a, you can see I've got a rack. I'm gonna set it on that rack, make sure that all that bacon stays tucked under. That way it won't burn and stick to the bottom of the pan as it cooks. But 375 to 400 for about an hour and a half. I was telling Joe before, if you think about how long it takes to wrap up a big baked potato in foil, it's about an hour and a half, you know? I mean, so it's about the same for this at a fairly high temp oven, you know, 375 to 400. Check it along the way, and of course at the end you might want to kick it to broil just for a few minutes to get that bacon nice and crisp. But we'll see how it comes out in a bit. We're going to stick that in the oven, and we'll get to work on a side.
I know this is going to be so good. Now, what other meats or what other recipes and ingredients do you use Dale's in to cook?
Oh gosh.
I know that it's like endless.
It is. You can use it for seafood. I've done it with seafood in the past. Of course, a lot of people make jerky with it. You marinate your meats, marinate your sliced meat, beef or venison in Dale's, and sometimes they'll add some other stuff in there and let it marinate and then dehydrate it, dry it. It's perfect for that. Just any number of things. Anything you would like to use like 30-minute marinade on, be it chicken, pork, or even beef. I mean, it works great.
It all works well. So coming up, we're going to work on our veggies, right?
That's right. It's going to be pretty simple, just some butter and a little bit of olive oil, and the carrots are so nice and sweet on their own. We're going to add a little sea salt and cracked black pepper along with the fresh green beans, and just going to saute it up.
Well, looking forward to that. I know we've got to talk about the weather that's coming this weekend, guys. We are back in the kitchen, Joe and I, with the reigning Dale's Cook-Off champ. How? I'm also going to boo.
Okay, so we boo to you being the defending champ because we got to go against you, but thumbs up to you cooking this delicious food, because I think you've done it again, Hal. This seems tough to beat.
Here's my concern: is this is the first time in all these years that the Studio 10 hosts have competed
against you?
Against anybody, really, or certainly against me.
Yes.
So how is this being judged? Who's judging this?
I am the judge. I am the sole and only judge. I will determine who. No, we actually have 5 judges lined up who are going to taste all 3 of the dishes: your dish, my dish, Chelsea's dish. See, look there. There's 3 of them right there.
Okay.
What up, guys in the control room? Mick's out here. Mick can be one of the judges.
Well, check this out. Check this out while this is finishing up. I'm about to bring out our pork loin.
Let's do it.
Pull that open for me. Look at this thing of beauty right here.
Chelsea, we are in
trouble.
We are in trouble. For sure.
So we saw how we put it together.
We did.
This is how it turns out. Of course, I made a second one. There's another one for everybody to have lunch in here, because you know that's big when it comes to getting those brownie points.
That is huge brownie points. You have to make mass quantities of food. Yes.
I'll tell you what. While we get this over here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. Very simple. Just fresh carrots cut up. Carrots are very sweet. Especially as they begin to cook in some butter. That sweetness comes out. These fresh sweet green beans. So add a little sea salt and some cracked black pepper in there, and about 4 cloves of chopped up garlic, because this is a pretty big pan, as you can see. You can see that garlic kind of down in there, and just a little side to go with this. So we're going to bring this over to the cutting board.
Okay.
And take a look.
You know,
do you feel like cutting it, Chelsea?
Well, I feel like it.
All right.
Oh, wait,
you probably know what to do.
You show me first, though. I don't. The answer is no.
All right. Well, we're going to get over here.
Okay.
And we're going to cut right down through the center.
Okay.
Man,
that looks so good.
You know what's funny is being friends with Hal. Just this week, he posted something on Facebook.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Those of you at home,
look at that.
Look at that juice just coming out of there. That's that Dale's, that apple juice and smoke coming out of there.
But so he'll post pictures of himself grilling, making his dishes at home, and everyone from Fox 10 is always like, "Come on, let's get some of that. Show us what you're making." There's some of that clove, garlic, and thyme in there, and you can see all those juices. Go ahead and cut Joe a piece. I'm going to plate this up. We're going to put some of this fresh green beans and carrots on there, and you just can't beat this. It's a quick meal. It just mostly just cooks itself in the oven. Just once you prep it, about 30 minutes time, and that's what we look like.
I think I cut them short.
Cut it thin to win, as they say in Vegas.
This will be my piece.
Hey, Hal, so for the folks who are just tuning in right now and they didn't see what you injected it with, tell us a little bit about that again so they get a recap.
Sure. And it's right here. Of course, the Dale's is the key ingredient, and I use the reduced sodium type. It's in the green label. I took 1 cup of this, 1.5 cups of just regular apple juice, 100% apple juice, and then 1 cap full of liquid smoke. Mix that together, get your injector, and of course that's enough to inject your whole pork loin and then some. I mean, but just to make it easy measurements and easy to get it up in the injector, that's just how I measure it out. And then of course you just inject it very thoroughly. Go ahead and get your garlic cloves. Cut some holes down in that pork loin, stick your garlic cloves in there with some fresh thyme, wrap it in bacon, and of course I topped it with our Playhouse Spices Dolphin Way.
Which is so good. I tasted it, yes. So good. It's got some coffee beans in there, some chili powder, all kinds of good stuff, and some hints of citrus as well, which really tops it all together. That Dale's and that seasoning right there just really brings it all together.
All right, guys, so listen in. So today is, what, Thursday? So today is Thursday. Yes. Next Thursday, Chelsea's going to do her first ever Dale's Cook-Off Challenge. She's got her game face on. The following Thursday, I'm going to do my Dale's Cook-Off Challenge. I have a story to do right after the show today, Hal, so I'm trying this bad boy out right now.
Yeah, please. And Chelsea, don't be afraid. Jump in there. You
have
a fork ready?
No, I don't have it ready.
You can use your fingers. I can cut you a piece.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, here we go.
I'm generally a somewhat confident dude.
There's some there. And how about a little bacon? You want a little bacon with that?
But I don't know. I don't know, Chelsea.
What?
I don't know if we got this. Hal has thrown down with Dale's once again. We appreciate you, buddy.
Well, you make me go first, so I have to set the bar high.
You certainly did. This is amazing, y'all. Get Hal's recipe for this. We'll post it online just a little bit later in the day. But Hal, thank you so much for coming in, man.
You got it. Always a pleasure.
The defending champ, Hal Sherrick, here on Studio 10. We'll be right back with more.
So good.